Welcome to AM Energized, a practice to start your day with, or really to utilize anytime you want to enliven the body and uplift the mind. So, to start the practice, I'm going to invite you to lie down onto your back on the floor and with your knees bent. Please place the feet about hip distance apart onto the floor. And we're going to start with bridge pose, but just take a moment as you close your eyes to settle in. And take a moment to recollect that there's a vast pool of vitality, of subtle life force that you can access at any time. To connect to it, we will open the body and clear the mind. So let's begin with our arms by our side. And without lifting the arms, inhale and slowly press down through the legs, feet into the floor to elevate the hips. We're going to repeat that, but now we're going to move the arms and press up for 5 counts. So about a 5-second inhalation. Come down according to your own rhythm. Then we'll move up again, this time for 6 counts. Continue, exhale slowly down. Please move into it. 7-count inhalation. And then finally, 8-count inhalation. So last breath in. Slowly rise. Takes 8 counts to lift to your highest point. And now stay 3 or 4 breaths. Breathing into the heart, seeing the breath move toward your waist. Soft but mindful, deliberate contraction of the point just below your navel toward your spine. As you deepen the breath and as you hold, you might find that you're lifting higher in your inhalation. Chest filled, gentle stretch to the neck, but still keep a little bit of pressure on the back of the head so the chin slightly rises and your neck is not flattening. Last breath, please. In fact, C7, the big round bone at the base of the neck, is actually lifted. It's off the floor. Okay, next exhalation, please come back down. Pause for a moment. And now let's roll over to our side and come up to 4s. So from here, we'll link starting on 4s to downward facing dog. So inhale, lift the chin, expand the chest. Sense the breath reaching all the way to the hips as you breathe in. Exhale, contract the navel, move into downward dog. Repeating it. The breath spans the space of the body from the hands to the feet to the hips. We're beginning to turn to the vitalizing aspect, the subtle aspect of the breath. Again, to enliven the body and flood the mind with healing and inspiration. And let's move one more time into the pose. Inhale down to 4s. As you move into the posture, this time, stay, soften the neck, relax the eyes. Deepen the breath so that the inhalation is reaching all the way to the hips. And now without turning the hips, please inhale and lift the right leg. Keep the elbows straightening, the upper arms drawing into your arm sockets, staying about 4 breaths. Again, feel the breath moving through the span of the body, as though you're filling the body like an empty vessel. The breath reaching all the way to the sole of the foot that's in the air, and then go ahead on your next exhalation, lower the foot. Please take the opposite leg up. Again, not turning the hips though, so there's an internal rotation to the lifted thigh. Hips are square. Sense the breath beginning to break through resistance, dissolving the obstacles to the clear, fluid flow or movement of prana. A couple more slow breaths, spanning the length of the body, filling the vessel of the body. Next inhalation, please come back down, lower the foot, and then sit onto your heels, spine tall. In this position, we're going to do a cleansing breath, Kapalabhati. I'll ask you to bring your arms up to about 60-degree angles, or this is probably more like a 45. And now I bring the tips of my fingers onto the mound of the mound of the palms, and the thumbs extend out like that. Okay, for about half a minute, Kapalabhati, stretching the body up, keeping the spine stable. Continue and sense that you're cleansing the inner space as well as the space outside of the body. Just find a consistent rhythm. Last few seconds. Now exhale all of the air. Take a deep, slow breath in, which I'm going to ask you to hold. Cross the thumbs overhead, elbows straight. Hold the breath, reach up. Lift the collarbones. Let the head fall forward, chin toward the breastbone. Sense that the pelvic floor softly rises. And you're collecting prana, life force, at the solar plexus, as if energy is moving down and also energy is moving up to fill the solar plexus with presence, radiance, strength. When you can't hold the breath comfortably any longer, lower the arms, but keep your eyes closed, arms extended, as if you were drawing an arc with your thumbs all the way to the floor. Pause for a moment. Sense the vital presence in the space outside of you. And now please slowly open your eyes, and we're going to come up to standing warrior one. So as you stand up, please go ahead and bring the right foot forward and left foot back. So a nice big movement here to, let's see if I can get this hooked up. Yeah. Okay, so from here, hands in prayer pose. As you breathe in, sweep the arms wide. Lift the heart. Exhale out of the pose, hands back into prayer pose, abdomen contracts. So as I'm moving in and out of the pose, I'm aware of prana flooding all the way to the extremities by expanding it first out of the heart and solar plexus. Lifting the heart, collarbone spreading. Now let's go into the movement one more time and stay. Relax the arms, relax the shoulders, grow the spine taller. Now, if you can, at the end of each inhalation, please hold the breath 1 count. And sense again that you're distributing the life force out of your solar plexus. Slowly contract the navel on exhalation. Retain the breath. Spread the life force. And exhale smoothly. Stay calm. Mind is clear. Becoming more and more attentive to prana. And exhale out of the pose. Let's turn our feet parallel. Take a moment to adjust. Same thing to the opposite side. I always come back to this definition of a yogi or yogini. The definition is one whose spine is full of energy. And what this does is it helps point us in the direction of the central intention of these practices, which is to bring life force back home, contain it, collect it, and ultimately direct it into the spine. So stay. Now, if you're comfortable, 1 count pause. And your intention, 3 more breaths, please. Your intention is to distribute life force from the solar plexus. Stay calm. The eyes are calm, stable, steady gaze. One more breath. Next inhale, straighten the knee. Now we're going to pivot this time, slightly different than the other side. Bend the front knee. Knee more or less stacks over the heel. Now you can pause here with the forearm on the thigh, collarbone spreading. If you're more flexible, you can lower the hand to the floor, fingertips on the floor, spread the arm. Take a deep breath in, spread your collarbones. And now if you like, you want to go a little further, draw the arm parallel to the floor, draw the arm into the shoulder socket so it's stable, and reach off the waist. Your back thigh internally rotates while the navel turns toward the ceiling. Keep growing the length of the spine, your upper arm against the inside of the knee. And as you squeeze arm against knee, knee against arm, distributing life force out of the solar plexus into your extremities. Breathe in, come back up. Change feet angles. Same approach to the other side, please. Inhale. Exhale. You can pause here. You can also use a block or fingertips on the floor inside the arch. You can stay here. If you want, lower the arm. Notice I draw the arm into the shoulder socket, take the arm over my head. And now the joyous work begins of spreading life force while you stretch the spine. Please stay 3 or 4 more slow, deep breaths. The body is stable. The mind, again and again, being joined to prana. Good. Next inhale, straighten the front knee. Come up. Bring your feet in to about hip distance apart. I like to keep my mat straight. And adjust. Notice again this main distribution center of life force here in the solar plexus region is in fact coming to life. Please inhale, raise your arms. Draw the arms into the shoulder sockets. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, please sink into chair pose. As you hold chair, you might notice I might be cheating here. So I'm just going to come forward, so I'm doing it with you. Now, as you breathe out, navel moves back and the pelvic floor softly rises. Keep the eyes steady. And as I exhale and engage the pelvic floor, the perineal wall drawing in and up, again, directing life force into the solar plexus and then throughout the pose. And inhale, straight legs, and lower both arms to your side. Take an adjustment breath or two. Now, the abdomen is so critical for, again, as a distribution center, but it's also a key area where the organs start to get stagnant. They hold tension and contraction. So we're going to use Agnisara here. A lot of you familiar with this methodology. The position in which we're going to work with this practice, done on the hold or the suspension of the breath after exhale, is here. So knees are bent, hands are on the thighs just above the kneecaps. This itself is a complete practice. So valuable, so profound. So what we do here is first steady our breath. Now, I initially inhale and will dip my lower back. And then as I exhale, I draw the tailbone into my body. The abdomen's drawn back. If I'm comfortable, I'll squeeze all the breath out and now draw the abdominal organs in and up. So toward the back body and up. And with it, engaging the root lock. Now when I'm ready to release, I slowly release the top of the abdomen, middle abdomen, lower, then the pelvic floor, and we'll slowly come up to standing. Take your time. If you feel any lightheadedness, you lower your chin. Let's try it again. Deep breath in. Lower back dips. Exhale. Feel a wave of contraction, even from the soles of the feet, coming up to the pelvic floor. Abdomen drawn in and up. When you're ready to inhale, softly inhale. Release the abdomen first. Inhale deeply. And gradually come back up. And you might already start to sense a kind of wave of vital force coming to life. Let's do it 2 more times. And this time we'll stay down in the pose for both. Hold the breath out. Draw the abdomen in and up. You can even begin to tilt from side to side to deepen and to disperse the action toward both, just to emphasize one side the other. All of this work is done on the hold after exhale. And then when you're ready, breathing in. Now, if you want to take a little extra breath or two in between, that's perfectly fine. Let's do it again. Last one. Hold the breath out. Draw the belly up. Moving into that area that not only distributes life force, but actually is quite critical to the manufacturing of serotonin. That neurotransmitter that triggers our being able to assimilate and essentially provide an antidote to stress. Then we can all breathe in and stand back up. You starting to feel vitalized? Okay, so from here, we're going to practice a variation of Uttanasana, standing forward fold. So I'll ask you to, again, have the feet about hip distance apart. Inhale, raise your arms. Slight bend in the knees. Now fold forward, long waist. Be mindful of not overly rounding the upper back. Eventually, hands on the floor. But if you're less flexible, better to have the knees a little bent and the spine long. I'm going to ask you to come up halfway. And then exhale again, down to your furthest point. And then inhale, flat back all the way up. Okay, we're going to repeat that, but this time when we come up halfway, if you can, retain the breath and lengthen the spine. So inhale and exhale. Come up halfway, remember. You can do this with the hands on the hips. Retain the breath. Gentle fold. Breathe in all the way up, flat back. Repeat it, please, 3 more times. Lengthen the waist. Neck long. Inhale. 2 more. Please continue on your own. Exhale, flat back, go forward. Inhale up halfway. Collarbones lift, retaining the breath, holding the breath, solar plexus, of course, folding on the exhale. Inhale, flat back brings you all the way up. And last one. And then inhale, come up halfway. Neck is long. Exhale, fold again, please. Now we'll stay. As you exhale, contract the navel. Soften the face, soften the jaw. And even though this is more of a passive pose than practically everyone we've done until this point, there's still a sense that you are committed, you are intentional about connecting to and collecting life force. From there, hands on the floor. Please step your legs back to down dog. Now we're going to go through a little bit of a vinyasa here. So I'm going to ask you from downward facing dog to leave the toes curled into the floor and to drop the hips toward the arms, the thighs toward the floor, up dog. Exhale, chaturanga. Body planked. Breathe in, up dog. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale. Excellent. Please exhale back to downward facing dog again. Stay, a couple deep breaths. And then from there, from downward dog, please slowly come down to 4s, sit onto your heels, pause with the spine tall. Adjust. Still connected. Aware of this main distribution center in the really it's at the solar plexus, but the whole area between solar plexus and the pubic bone. Why don't we even take a moment just to close the eyes and sense that presence that we've built there. From there, relax. Stretch your legs out. And now we'll bend the knees. Okay, you ready? We're going to clasp the hands under the thighs and lean back. So if there's any issues with your lower back or you're weak in the abdominal area for the time being, just lift the feet off the floor and do your best to balance with the shoulders rolling back. Then let's all just straighten only the right leg initially. Heart lifting. If this is too strong, then just keep the feet off the floor. Change legs. Ideally, at least you have the feet off the floor, even if it's just an inch or two. And now slowly we'll straighten both legs and balance. Heart lifts. Now if you can release the legs, great. Try Kapalabhati here. Inhale. Lift the arms, lower the heels, lift the heart. And exhale, lower the arms. Now, lift the heart, lift out of the pit of the stomach, please. Sitting tall, as you exhale, lift the chin. As you inhale, raise the collarbones and lower the jaw parallel to the floor. Lift the heart. Repeat that. Contract the belly to the spine. Chin rises. Inhale, 5 counts. Lifting the collarbones. Exhale. Inhale, 6. Inhale, 7. And last one, 8 count inhale. Stay, 8 count inhale. Excellent. So from there, go ahead and lie down onto your back. As you lie down, please drop your arms out to the side, more or less cross-like, perpendicular to the spine. Draw both thighs to the chest. Exhale and drop the knees over to your right side. Squeeze the knees together. Then you're pressing the top knee toward the bottom knee as the navel turns in opposition or in the opposite direction as you've dropped your knees. Soften the breath, soften the gaze, the jaw. Good. Please bring the knees up. Go ahead to the opposite side. More and more effortless, sense the earth supporting you. And yet internally, there's still this connection, cultivation of your relationship to life force. Come back to center. Hug the knees into the chest. You may even want to rock a little bit from side to side. We're going to transition now into Shavasana. So ensure that your spine is comfortable and then slowly stretch your legs out for Shavasana. Let your body open to the earth. You may want to take 3 or 4 slow, long, deep breaths, emphasizing diaphragmatic abdominal breathing. Once again, you sense that as you shape the breath, you're signaling to the body and to the mind to relax and to return to present moment awareness. Now allow the breath to become involuntary. Notice the body's just simply breathing. Innate intelligence is shaping the rhythm, and the more relaxed you become, the more that innate intelligence refines the rhythm. To the ideal or optimal rhythm for this moment. Now, for the next couple of minutes, I'm going to ask you to apply the following kriya, or active reflection, contemplation, or meditation. So as you breathe in, as you notice the body breathing in, sense light, sense the luminosity of the stars and the planets, the sun, spiraling in through the top of the head and descending into that area between the solar plexus and the pubic bone. You pause the breath for just one count or so and sense that luminosity grow, perhaps even transform into a flame or fire. And then as you exhale, you sense that light, that luminosity flood all of the layers of the mind, all the cells of the body. So I'll repeat it. When the body breathes in, you're aware of absorbing the light of our solar system, the universe. It descends through you. You pause the breath when it reaches the abdomen. It transforms into a flame or luminosity, more concentrated, collected. And then as you exhale, it fills all of the cells of the body and infuses all of the layers of the mind with light, positivity. Please continue. Enlivening the body, elevating the mind, transforming the emotions, at a certain point, you'll experience the body so full of light, the mind having been transformed. There's no need to do the technique any longer. You rest in and you become one with the nurturing, healing, strengthening power of light, luminosity. Please continue to rest in the method or absorbed in the absorption of presence. Stay as long as you like, and then when you're ready, you'll come back at your own pace, returning to life, vital and inspired and empowered. Om.